consider making changes to the offense? And if so, how big potentially?
Yeah, I think adjustments is probably the way I would put it to what we're doing offensively. Uh, I like what we're doing, but we've got to make some adjustments within what we're doing. We've got to either with what we're doing offensively and with what we've worked at, or adding some things to our offense. We need to be able to the basketball needs to touch the paint more often, whether that's with the dribble or we throw it inside. But we have to be able to do that. And so we've got to make some adjustments. We've got to keep adding to what we're doing. If we have to add some things to it that we haven't done yet, Cole, then we need to be able to do that as well. But I still like a lot of the shots that we've taken in the last three basketball games. And Spencer comes right to mind in the games a week ago. This past Saturday, we had a number of good looks, guys catching and shooting with their foot down, and those are shots. No matter what offense we're running, the shots that Spencer was getting a week ago, the shots that Isaiah and some others were getting on Saturday. Those are shots that we're going to keep working hard to get those same ones. But what we do need to, and I know we talked about it last week, one of the things we didn't do well enough a week ago was get the basketball into the paint, either driving it or throwing that basketball inside, just to put a different kind of pressure on the defense and see if that doesn't open up some other things for us.
What's the challenges facing Iowa on Saturday?
Yeah, they're great in transition, and even going back to when Fran was at Siena, that was where we started our defensive game plan. He's always done such a good job of getting the basketball either off a missed shot or made shot, getting it out of the net, getting it out of bounds, and getting the ball into the front court. And they've got guys that can shoot it from the 3-point line in transition, and that can get you in a hurry. They do, I think, as good a job as anybody of getting the basketball inside when they're coming in transition. And they've got multiple guys that can run to the front of the rim and plant themselves right there. And they find those guys. So they put immediate pressure on your defense in transition, inside with Cook and Garza, and then coming off the bench with a couple guys inside. If it isn't in transition, they're looking to get touches inside with those guys. So we're going to have to defend the paint after we defend them in transition. Then they've done a very good job here of with their motion offense, and their movement has been really good. Their screening has been really good. So while they're working to get touches inside with the guys that I mentioned, they've got a number of perimeter players that not only can make threes, but they've got very good size across the board. So they're guys that can drive it and finish at the basket. They put pressure on you in terms of being able to get to the free throw line with those perimeter players. And they've got a good understanding of what they want to get done. They want to hit you fast, and that can be from the 3-point line. It can be in the middle of the paint. They want to throw the basketball inside to put pressure on you there. And then they've got with the roster of guards that they've got, they just put a lot of pressure on you in the half court. So, but it starts transition defense, defending the block, and then we've got to play against their movement offensively, what they're doing in their motion and moving those guys around, because so many of those guys can make threes. And so there's a lot of things to cover.
With their size, do you try to trap them or turn them over, or what are the keys to kind of defending them and countering a lot of that interior pressure?
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge for us. The lineup that we have got right now with basically four guards with Trey Burrow as our power forward. At times we're a little bit bigger when Biggie's at the 4 and Luke, or if it were Justin, is at that center position. We can get a little bit bigger that way, but still not as big as what Iowa is. So we're going to have to look at, I think, a number of different things, and one of those being how do we get the basketball out of there? Either not let it in there, or if it does get in there, how do we get it out of there? Because they've got an advantage with those guys. And to think that we can go in and just play them single coverage all night long down on the block, that's not going to be a good recipe for us.
Given the fact that you've been back home, you've got this amount of practice time, is the starting lineup something that you're looking at